The office of the President of the United States of America is nearly 250 years old. 46 men have held the title of president through great peril, assassination attempts, civil war, Great Depression, world wars, and the threat of nuclear war. This is a dangerous office to hold. I think everyone agrees with that. After centuries of moral hazards, the U.S. presidency has survived them all. Yet no one realized that the true, crippling threat to the presidency lay right before our very eyes. It could be delivered directly to the president without notice, masked in a box, hot and dangerous, ready to do real damage. Jalapeno pizza. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This week, the president was nearly brought down by a reckless slice of jalapeno pizza. Great men have borne great Herculean burdens of the presidency through generations, but it's jalapeno pizza that was Joe Biden's breaking point. How did this happen? Where was the Secret Service or Dr. Jill Biden? Joe clearly needed a doctor after this spicy bite. Let's investigate. Joe was in Poland speaking with the troops of the 82nd Airborne Division on high alert, ready for the enemy. But the enemy was indeed already among them in the form of a green assassin. Joe was asked to sit down and eat with the men. And then tragedy struck. Watch.
Anyway, we became friends.
Dangerous times. Dangerous times. You can see the pain in the man's eyes, the coughing, the wheezing, the wiping of his forehead and his extremities, the expression of sheer pain. The realization that the most powerful office in the world was about to be undone by a pizza topping. Perhaps this was the moment Biden realized the true dangers of an open southern border. The troops saw it too. Check out these reactions from America's bravest. Frozen in shock, their commander-in-chief laid low by a jalapeno. Look at these men. Tragic. The entire purpose of Biden's visit to the troops is to project strength. But Biden may have literally been projecting something else after that bite of jalapeno pizza. You think we're overstating this? Biden himself coughed and hacked through the rest of the day at formal events, complaining about the near-constitutional crisis brought about by the jalapeno.
I want to thank each one of you and your organizations, excuse me. I were visiting our troops and they had pizza pie with hot peppers on it.
Yes, I did. Okay, pizza pie, the dangerous thing in the war zone. We want to reiterate, we're not making fun of Joe Biden. No, no. We're worried. And the White House physician is also worried. His name's Kevin O'Connor. He gave Biden a recent physical, and he says that Joe suffers from acid reflux, causing Biden to experience severe throat clearing. That's in his report. Acid is not the only thing Biden's been clearing, ladies and gentlemen. Biden went to Europe and approached Europe on the verge of a natural gas supply crisis. But no one was questioning that there was a supply crisis of natural gas when Biden was there. On a recent trip to Europe, Joe Biden displayed his personal capacity to provide fully renewable natural gas himself. The European leaders were themselves aghast. Can you imagine getting stuck in an elevator with Joe Biden after that slice of jalapeno pizza? No wonder Biden was immediately speaking out about the dangers of chemical warfare right after that bite. He had just delivered the first strike to himself. After jalapeno Pizzagate, Biden was hot-headed. Joe called for full regime change in Russia and the deployment of American troops to boot. Listen.
You're going to see when you're there, and some of you have been there, you're going to see women, young people standing in the middle in front of a damn tank, just saying, I'm not leaving. I'm holding my ground. They're incredible. For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
And to clarify on chemical weapons, if chemical weapons were used in Ukraine, would that trigger a military response from NATO?
It would It would trigger a response in kind.
Woof. There you go. The United States would use chemical weapons against the Russians. Yikes. The spicy near-death experience from the jalapeno made Biden so blind with rage that days later, Biden had no recollection of nearly starting World War III. Listen.
Are you worried that other leaders in the world are going to start to doubt that America is back if some of these big things that you say on the world stage keep getting walked back?
What's getting walked back?
It made it sound like, just in the last couple days, it sounded like you told U.S. troops they were going to Ukraine. It sounded like you said it was possible the U.S. would use a chemical weapon, and it sounded like you were calling for regime change in Russia, and we know...
None of the three occurred.
Okay, Joe Biden completely forgot. Your lying eyes have deceived you. Reality can be anything I want. Ah, Thanos glove. These are the dangers of a president that is way past his prime. And it's not just a spicy jalapeno that brings him down. It's almost everything. Remember when a stiff breeze pushed Biden over on the steps to Air Force One? Joe Biden is weak. He's brittle. He's fragile. And he's reeling in the office of the president. The office of the president, sadly, is a reflection on all of us. It's a reflection on our nation. It always has been. Biden represents a fragile, weak, broken Democratic Party that has deeply lost touch with reality. They're not fit to lead because they can be broken by basic realities. Don't believe me? Well, the spice of life might have another thing to say. Take Biden's Supreme Court nominee, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Biden told us she was the most qualified and capable judge for a lifetime appointment to the court. Yet ask her what a woman is, and you get this.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the meaning
biologist.
of the
So if you're going to be ruling on issues directly affecting women and their rights in this country, yet you can't define what a woman is, how does Ketanji Brown Jackson know that she is a woman? How does Biden know that he nominated a woman? Someone should ask him and see if Biden even remembers who she is. Of course, after he recovers from his jalapeno intensive care coma. Will Smith made international headlines this week for slapping Chris Rock across the face at the Oscars this week. Why? Well, if you believe low IQ people, it's because Will Smith was defending his woman. Democrats cheered, but what is a woman? They can't answer the question. It's all so confusing. The Democrat Party goes on and on and on about racism and hate in America. But ask them if Jussie Smollett committed a hate crime. Watch their brains fry. Jussie Smollett is a lifelong felon now who was imprisoned for, yes, committing a hate crime against MAGA supporters. That's the empirical truth. The truth, however, melts the mind of a leftist like a jalapeno pizza bite from Joe Biden. Sizzles, it hurts, give me the water. Ah. The majority of Americans are watching this perverse, weak, anti-truth charade take place with the same expression as our troops. They're saying, who are these people? How did they get into power? How did they even get themselves dressed this morning? The office of the president is a reflection on all of us, and we are not looking pretty. Countries with leaders this weak and incompetent do not stay on top. They get burned. A lot worse than a spicy jalapeno bite.